You're like, dang, they did that in 2 seconds.
I know, exactly. Exactly. Thank you all so much for being here this afternoon. I am Ruth Ann, and perhaps we're going to use our yoga blocks and a blanket just to give us a little bit more comfort underneath our hips. If you've got any kind of an injury or something going on in your body that I'm not aware of, let me know when I'm moving around. And I may offer assistance or adjustments if you are good with that. If you're not, you also let me know. We do have cards here at this studio and every studio that Tricia and some of the instructors will pass out, and they all have a permission at the top. They say yes or no. So that's a great way of knowing if somebody wants to be adjusted or even pressed down upon in Shavasana. So that's awesome. In January, even now, I will take a little card or like a note card or banquet, and I'll put namaste or thank you for coming, and then I'll write the student's name on the front. So then I can see everybody's names when you were in class. And then by the time I kind of have used enough, then I think it helps me remember. If you are a person that has a harder time remembering people's names, that helps. Go ahead and send your feet just a little bit further away from your hips. So maybe when they look down, they create a shape of a triangle. Draw the shoulders up by the ears and let them cascade back and down. Shoulders up by the ears, inhale. Exhale, bring them back. Big circle movement here. Inhale, shoulders up by the ears. Exhale and down. Just one more time. And down. Roll the shoulder blades back and down. Lift with your eyes and go long with your spine. Let's check in with your hips today. Rock a little bit side to side. As our focus is on our root chakra, reach your hands over to your right side. Fantastic. Bring this back. And now your other side. Big reach. Draw it back. Tuck your chin towards your chest and roll that all the way up. And a big sweep up. That hands hard. On the exhale, switch out your feet. Move a little bit forward and back. So if you were setting up on a high pillow, we started to shift forward, and you start to catch using through your lower belly, your core, and then bring your shoulders back. So try again, shift forward, catch, and then shoulders stack. Nice. Draw the head to this side. Inhale, head back to center. Exhale, other side. And again. Competition to the side. Ego to the side. And draw back. Both arms sweep up. Inhale. Hands to heart. Exhale. Let's turn our palms down to feel grounded, to feel strong of I am. I am. Come back to your personal mantra, your affirmation. Together, celebrate you. Inhale through nose. Ribs expand, front, back, side to side. Let them float. Open jaw, side out. Exhale. Inhale through nose. A little bit more, keep going. Expand, pause, open jaw, force, exhale. One more cycle, inhale through nose. This time, let's keep our lips closed. Feel that little restriction in the back of the throat. It might sound like a seashell. Let's open those eyes, reach your fingertips up, lift your chin, and hands to center. Exhale. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Bring your hands behind your head. Exhale, send our hands out. Inhale, bicep curl. Exhale, breathe out. Arms overhead, in. Hands float down. Exhale. Breathe in. Behind your head, breathe out. All the way in. All the way out. Fill up. Draw in. To sky. Energy around you. Curl. Power. Lift. Hand center. One more flow. Let's roll back and down through your shoulders. As we move today, our fingertips will be spread wide. Think about if I were going to take a picture of you. So our fingertips will be here, about the width of a yoga block. So let's roll through onto all fours as we move into our very first cat-cow. If you'd like to add a blanket underneath your knees, that might feel really nice today. Double that up. And start to just march your hands like a cat would. Knees right underneath the hips. If you normally have your feet flat, let's go ahead and curl your toes. Wag your tail, start to move and isolate. And slinky through your spine. If you had like one of those wooden snakes, and how they move. Bend your elbows. On the inhale, shift, tailbone tilts up, breathe in. As you breathe out, press firmly into the mat, around your back like a black cat. Breathe out, inhale, shift through. Exhale, send it out. Push into the mat. Inhale, elbows bend slightly. Fingertips engaged. Exhale, imagine you're pressing up into crow or into a handstand. It is strong. One more time. That connection, nice job. And exhale. Reset now to center. Because we use our wrist a lot in our yoga practice, start to walk your hands outward as if you were on line. You're going to start to work them outward. And then you're going to find your edge. Don't push this too much. We start to keep going outward. And this just tells me who's very hypermobile, which is a bunch of you kids. Elbows bend. And then maybe circle your upper body. Normally I do have music, but if I video, it drowns out. Sorry. Let's go the other way. Bend your elbows. Bend your elbows a little bit more, Corey. There you go. Is one hand a little more snug than your other? If you don't feel anything, bend your elbows more. Start to walk and work your hands back out. Roll back and down through your shoulders. Center hips up high to downward dog. Creating the shape of a triangle. Pedal through your feet. This posture is for our spine to create length and space here. Ears between your biceps. Take a moment to look at your fingertips. Are they still spread wide? Are we using the pads of the fingertips? Pedal through your feet. Bend the knees, move to plank. Hips are going to stay up, 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 up. Head draws through. Last, eyes look at the top of the mat. Back to down dog. Knees bend, hips high, light in your wrist. Float one more time to plank as you exhale. Back to downward dog. Tiptoe your feet to hands, forward fold. Add hands to shins, half lift, go long and strong through this. Nice job. Exhale, fold. Soften the back of the neck. Knees bend, ragdoll, roll all the way up. Inhale, if I can. And hands to heart. And exhale. Nice job. Roll back and down through your shoulders. We'll stand into Tadasana. Take a gaze at your feet. As we lift our toes through Padabandha, rock and roll a little bit now through your feet. And hip distance. We are not Chiefs players, so bring it in a little bit. how we know hip distance is if you just take your one heel and bring it into the arch, and then you open. There's your hip distance.
Ooh, nice trick.
Mind blown. Or you take two fists, bring them together, and squeeze here. This is also hip distance. Yeah. So, and our hips are right here. Roll back through the shoulders. Inhale, sweep arms up. Bend your knees and hinge to forward fold as you exhale. Hands to shins, half lift. Eyes lift. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, dip hips, sweep the arms to the outside, and we stand. Draw the hands back to center. Exhale. Inhale, sweep up. Bend your knees. Exhale, hinge to forward fold. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, soften. This time, as you bend your knees, ragdoll, roll up. Slow and last. Sweep. And now the center. Reset to mountain or Tadasana. That is a sun salutation. So I can do that in standing, we can do that in a chair, you can do that when you get up in the mornings, roll it back and down. And now let's add a step back with that. Inhale, sweep up. Knees bend, bow to earth, exhale. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, relax the back of the neck here. Bend your knees enough to where you get space in your lower back now. Turn her head to no, and draw your chin towards your chest. Just release a little bit more here. Nice work. Hands find earth, step back to plank. Downward dog. When we transition from plank to down dog, ideally in time, our hands, feet stay in the same place. If you don't dig that, I'll come around and can help you with that. Gaze at the very top of the mat, bend the knees on the inhale, and then exhale, round that back like that black cat. Hover here, press your entire torso body forward. Send the body, torso forward. Now come to the knees. Eyes lift, little tricep push up. Glide back down, really strong, nice job. Press to the top of the feet. Melt all the way down. Pelvis, belly, chest, forehead. Shake out your hips, tiny bit. Press with the top of your feet, right with where your shoelaces are. Fingertips come off the mat like your hands are on top of two cupcakes. Only lift to where you could hold it yourself. Breath in and then down. So press with the top of the feet. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, rock down. One more time, breath in and out. Move your hand by the bottom rib. Roll back through your shoulders if you were kind of like a cricket. You can always take your hands a little bit lighter, but they need to slide back as far as you can get them. Curl your toes, lift your knees. Breath in, press to plank, breath out. Downward dog. Might feel different if you're not used to having your hands back that far. Walk your feet to hands, forward fold. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale. Knees bend, dip hips, sweep to standing. Draw back in, exhale. Roll back and down through the shoulders. What I mean by having our hands by that bottom rib is a red layer. So just give it a shot now even. Pick up one of your yoga blocks. If we keep this in between our hands, we're here with it. We can squeeze the side of our body with them, our arms. This is chaturanga, plank. Awesome. And then if it comes overhead, if we're jammed up like this, roll back and down through your shoulders and feel kind of an expansion through your back. Same thing here, your elbows are actually still going back towards your thighs, and lift your chin, that's handstand. Come up to the ball of your feet, so use Pada Bandha. Now you're having to use also mula bandha through your core. You're having to squeeze that block. Hasta bandha with your hands. Maybe gaze towards earth for balance. Jala bandha. And on the exhale, start to sweep that back down. Hug the elbows in. And then just roll back and down through your shoulders. That's a great way, though, to figure out everything in our practice works together as that team. Nice job. Place our yoga blocks at the very top of our mat. And usually I'll say, for fun today we're going to use these. Because if there's I don't know, sometimes people want to use them, sometimes they don't. But it will get everybody to kind of participate. And our blocks can be flat, here, or top. Reset, top of the mountain, top of your mat. Roll back through your shoulders. Breath in, reach up. Knees bend, bow to earth. Exhale. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale. Step back to plank. Eyes look at the top of the mat. Shift your body, your torso forward. Eyes up, and now automatically your elbows will start to bend. Knees, pelvis, belly, chest, forehead. Keep your feet pressing down, lift chest, breath in, forehead to mat, breath out, exhale. Let's just do that 2 more times. And down. 1 more. And down. Slide your thumb back and down. Knees can stay to the floor, or curl the toes, lift the knees, press to plank on your exhale. Downward dog. Bend your knees way more than what you normally do. See if you can get your hips up higher. You can get more strength in your back. Tiptoe, feet to hands, forward fold. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, fold. Find one of your yoga blocks, knees bend, roll all the way up. Then you reach to the top and draw in. Exhale. Awesome. Grab our block and we're going to bring it in between our inner thighs. We're going to hop like a bunny. Lots later. Just kind of slice this through so it doesn't joust you, okay? This gets us to think about using our feet, our inner thighs a little bit more, drawing up through Mula Bandha and roll back. So good. Lift. Let's add a little side stretch. Knees bend, other side. Draw back to center, lift your chest and gaze up. Add field gold arms as you exhale. Inhale, reach up. This time set back to chair, hands on top of your thighs. So hands to chair. Here's where you might need to move your little biscuit or your egg. Okay. Send the weight in chair back to your heels, and now move into your ball of your feet. So those thighs, those quads, best to be working. See if you can come to the ball of your feet. There we go. That's it, ball of your feet. Now back to your heels. In chair, if you bend our knees, but keep our chest is up. Otherwise, you're going to get this. If you used, I joke, but if you used a porta potty, you would not be looking like this. You'd be like, whoa, girl, get it up. So hands can be here, genie, or they can reach up. So you choose. Press back through the heels on the inhale, gaze up. Knees bend, bow to earth, exhale. Hands to shins, half lift, bend those knees along with your spine. Exhale and fold. Knees bend, dip hips, sweep to standing. Bring it back, exhale. Awesome. And I move it to the back of the mat now. Like penguin if you want. We're going to add plank with this. If you totally, really dislike the block, you do not have to use it. If you break one in half, I'll buy ice cream. Okay, roll down. Inhale, reach up. Set back to chair as you exhale. While we're here now, tilt your pelvis and tuck. Tilt, this would be inhale, moving through. Exhale is like a black cat. Inhale, we're opening up front body. Out, exhale, around, black cat. This is why that tilt tuck is so important. Explore neutral spine, so somewhere in between that tilt tuck. On the inhale, look up, knees bend, bow to earth, exhale. Hands to shins, half lift. Soften the back of your neck. Exhale. Walk out to plank. Maybe 1, 2, 3 if you're a Pilates the first lift. Eyes gaze at the top of the mat. Push with those toes. Shift your body forward. Keep coming. Expand through your back. Chaturanga. Knees to mat. Melt all the way down. Press with the top of the feet. Lift your chest. 1 series. Inhale. Exhale down. Curl your toes. Lift knees. Breath in. Exhale. Plank. Down dog. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. This tells me if you've not been bending your knees enough, okay? Long with the spine, so you can get your hips up even higher. Walk your hands back to your feet. 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bend the knees, roll up. Big reach. Drawing. What that did was it got us all to think and really connect, because you weren't going to let it go. So now, when you are coming into Tadasana, it gives you a nice reference point. So if you've got a lot of not figuring out hip distance, or we're not figuring out Mula Bandha, or what we're supposed to be doing, this is a really great prop. You can go ahead and put it down. Just don't throw it. And if I've done that in a one-on-one, I probably am not going to add a posture in, because I've done all that. You guys will though, but you'll always add a balancing posture in. So let's step your right foot forward. So right foot forward. Number 1, when we come into a balancing posture, is our focal point. I was joke, but don't pick me. Step. Or my water bottle, because I'm going to probably get a drink. Is my head cut?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, no,
Is it-
no, that's just a recording line.
Thank you. Thank you. Normally, I've done shot my head off the whole time, so. Okay, find a focal point. Stay on that. And then, how about we just go ahead and really lift that toe. Feel that arch lift. And then balance on your right foot. Pendulum your left leg. Just like a car, we want to kind of keep a little bit of shock there to absorb that. Now lift your knee. Hook behind it. Think about if you were going to push the foot down and then lift the knee up. Push it down. Lift it up. Let's do that one more time. Press it down. Lift it up. Add your other arm. Just explore. Maybe both arms. And you breathe. Variation of that, just bring your right foot down. All of it. On the exhale, press your hands together. Hasta Bandha. And up foot to earth. Roll back through your shoulders. Circle through your hips. Nice job. Any of us, though, that deal with chronic pain, just balancing every day, is just so fantastic for our core and for us mentally. So let's go the other way. Send some other good vibes up there. Now let's reset. Your left foot will come in front of you. Focal point. Find whatever you're going to choose. Plant through your foot. That's why we call that root all the way up to rise. Pendulum the leg. Just kind of get a feel for it. Then your knee can be at the toe here, or we can lift it up. Look behind it. Push it down and lift. This keeps us from wanting to hinge forward. Nice job. Add your opposite arm. So if that was a rope and it was lifting you up, yes. Maybe the other arm joins it. Hands to heart. And now float your foot down. Yes. If we have someone, it looks like there's a windstorm right on the mat, or they do this, it's because you're gripping the crap out of the mat with your feet. Your mat's turning purple, like Liz's mat. So if you squeeze your toes in the mat, that's going to usually give you kind of a shin splint feeling or a cat. So that is why I encourage us to talk about the arch in your foot and really using everything else. It's a nice way to put that in there. Let's reset. Roll back through the shoulders. Sweep up, breath in. Set back to chair, breath out, exhale. Push back through the heels. Keep the chest lifted. Inhale, sweep up. Knees bend, bow to earth, exhale. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale. Find your yoga blocks. Right foot steps straight back to runner's lunge. Bringing right knee down. Good. Very good. We want to see the toes on the left foot. So if you're not, scooch that left foot up. Or again, our yoga blocks can be tall, short, whatever it is. Just pick up your back knee and bring the back knee down. Opening up that right hip flexor. Awesome. One more time, lifting and bringing that down as you exhale. You have one or two choices. You can press through the foot, or you can keep your toes curled. It feels better for my knee to keep my toes curled. Press through the front thigh, lift up with your body. Roll back through the shoulders. So now this is like a 99. You can see your toes, my shoulders are over my hips. And if you have your foot flexed, let's go ahead and curl your toe here. Your choice to stand is either place your hands to the block. Let's just all go through it together. Hands to block. Pick up back knee. Hands to thigh. And then we come to standing. We've all made it up here pretty good. Slowly come back down. Exhale. This time, have your students just place your hands on your thigh. Come forward, breath in. Pick up your back knee. And now push as you come up. Awesome. Bring it down. Or hands to heart or over your head and stand up. You started with that one. It's not that much fun though. On the exhale, find earth. Step back, plank. Torso shifts forward. Knees to mat. Chaturanga. Pelvis, belly, chest, forehead. Imprint with your feet. Lift the heart. Breath in. Breath out. Exhale. Press back up to all fours. Inhale and exhale. Catch that. Open up your knees. Draw the big toes together. Sink back to your child's pose. If at any time in practice today you feel mentally or physically you just want to come back to here, come back. It's your mat. Waiting for you. Massage through your forehead. As you reach your fingertips now out in front of you, move to downward dog. Slowly come into it. Fingertips, ears between the biceps, hips are high, knees are slightly bent. Right foot split, breath in. Three-legged dog, right knee, right tricep, breath out, exhale. Inhale, split, knee to tricep, exhale. Inhale, split. Bring your right foot down to the mat as you exhale. Breath in. Slowly come down to the mat, all fours. Breath out. Knee back into tabletop. Send the right foot behind you, breath in. Right foot steps through, breath out. We could have, or I could have taken you through a step through, but some of us feel successful with that, some of us have not practiced that. So when you are moving through that, just bring everybody to here and come forward, back foot steps to the top, forward fold. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, soften. Roll it up. Big sweep at the top. And bring it back on the exhale. If you've got students in your class, Corey, you practice a lot, you can just step your foot through. They're probably gonna go ahead and do that anyway. But I want everybody to know that if you land in a vinyasa, you land somewhere and you hear that, like, what the heck can I do? You're gonna end up in the same place. So that's the reason I'm showing you that. Come down to all fours there. Let's reset and go through the same thing on the other side. Roll the shoulder blades back, breath in, reach up, side stretch. Back to center, other side, reach that up and come back, open your chest. Move to chair, Utkatasana. Into the heels, ball of the feet, back to the heels. Gaze up, inhale, bend your knees, exhale, hinge, forward fold. Hands to shins, half lift, and exhale. Find your blocks before you do anything. Bring both of your feet in between your blocks. Just step left foot straight back. And bring your left knee down. Awesome. That's a huge difference from last time. Everybody was like, what in the heck, where am I going? So if you communicate that earlier than later than I did, is showing someone anytime we step back, just one foot's gonna move. One foot's gonna be your anchor. So using your runner's lunge, pick up back knee and bring it down. Yep, just a couple more, good. And then down, one more. Coming up from lunge, practice them all, either using our blocks, back knee lifts, hands to thigh, shoulders stack. The difference between warrior one and crescent lunge. Crescent lunge, you're always going to be in the back ball of the foot. Warrior one, the heel will be down. Crescent lunge, you're in the heel. Slowly come back to earth. This next one, hands to thigh, hinge forward, lift back knee, and draw the shoulders back. Fantastic. Last but not least, draw all the way down, hands to heart or over your head, stand straight up. Because for our body, our spacing is just awesome. Because from crescent lunge, we can go to warrior two, we can go to a balancing posture. On the exhale, hands to earth, plank. Shift torso forward. Chaturanga, little baby cobra. Move back, child's pose. Exhale, recover. If you normally do Balasana with your knees wide, maybe take them together today. Just explore. As our eyes lift, move to all fours, and we'll come into easy seated. Just easy seated. Nice job. Beep up, boop. Sorry, I didn't even sing or nothing, man. Do what? Oh, the red.